Hey, what's up, you guys? Just got back from work as usual. I've been listening to the new My Dying Bride track, and My Father Left Forever. Pretty fucking emo title, but I definitely relate to it. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I figured I'd do a quick track review of the song. I saw that Counterbeat did one, and there's later musical stuff and things vlog. I know this track came out a few days ago, but I actually just started listening to it yesterday. Don't really know why it took me that long to finally give it a listen, but I think it might have something to do with the fact that the new My Dying Bride artwork, the name of the song, and the name of the album did not necessarily appeal to me. It sounded very sort of gothic and over the top with like the sort of like faux sad imagery. But I finally checked out the track, and here's my thoughts on it. Let me preface this by saying that My Dying Bride, you know how I feel about My Dying Bride if you've seen my top 15 albums of all time video that I posted a few days ago. Their album, Turn Loose the Swans, is my favorite album of all time. Hands down, it hits me emotionally on every single level and every single spectrum. It's brilliant, simplistic, but not compositionally so heavy and beautiful with just fantastic sort of synthesizers, violins. I mean, not synthesizers, keyboards, violins. Amazing vocals, incredible lyrics. Just overall, one of the best albums of all time. A 10 out of 10 album, and my personal favorite album of all time. Now, I'm not going to pretend I've listened to everything by My Dying Bride, because I haven't. For me personally, it's kind of rare for me to sit down and just like a one album and then listen to the whole discography. I would rather listen to a few albums by the band and then slowly buy the albums and then listen to them that way. Or, just like listen to one when I feel like it, or like, hey, let's put on a new My Dying Bride album that I haven't heard before. So it's hard for me to just sit down and listen to a full discography of a band, and I haven't been into metal for that long. So I haven't heard everything that My Dying Bride has done, but I have heard a lot of stuff. I've heard, of course, Turn Loose the Swans. I've heard a little bit of stuff from Avinta. I heard As the Flower Withers. I think like one or two tracks from A Line of Deathless Kings. I've heard The Light at the End of the World, the Trinity compilation, and I have heard the Bargus of Whitby EP. My top three favorite My Dying Bride albums are probably The Light at the End of the World, the Bargus of Whitby EP, and of course, Turn Loose the Swans. And their older material is incredible. It really has this sort of old school death doom. They were one of the first death doom bands, sort of charm to it, and it's really really amazing. My problem with My Dying Bride is as they moved further into their discography, they began to add sort of a gothic element to their sound. Like their music has always been horribly, debilitatingly depressing, but they added this sort of like gothic metal sort of sound in with the death doom, which I really enjoy. Like on their cover of Scarborough Fair, it was incredible. On songs like The Poorest Waltz from A Map of All Our Failures, it was fantastic. But there's a few points in albums like A Line of Deathless Kings or For Lies I Sire that I just felt like this sort of faux sadness that they sort of emit on these records just really wasn't working for me. Like sometimes it just felt a little cheesy, a little over the top, and like I said at the beginning of the video, that's why I was worried about listening to this new My Dying Bride track. And upon listening to it, I think I heard it 5 times before I did this track review. My mind was definitely changed. I mean, god damn it, My Dying Bride just makes amazing music. Other than that one album that's like a bunch of numbers and then percent that I actually never listened. I listened to Heroin Chic off of the album and I didn't like it. I know that's like the album that they experimented on and no one likes. But other than that album, I mean, everything My Dying Bride has done has just been fantastic, and this song is just no exception. I really was like, is it gonna be really cheesy? And it is a little bit at some points, but I mean, you start off with just this pummeling doom riff that's just fucking beats you into the ground, and it's just awesome. It's really heavy. Then all of a sudden you get Aaron Stainthorpe. I think it's Aaron Stainthorpe. correct me if I'm wrong, his vocals and his amazing, incredible lyrics, and I was just blown away by it. I mean, the vocal melodies are the best part of the song, hands down, bar none. It's the best thing about it. His voice is so pained and so beautiful. There's none of the unclean vocals on the song. It's all his cleans. And may I say, his cleans have improved so much since I first started using them in Turn Loose the Swans. I mean, they just sound beautiful, classical, professional, and it's just an amazing sound to hear. One thing that I love about My Dying Bride songs is that they always do a really great job of portraying a character. You know, like telling a story, or sort of doing a study of a depressed person. And that's exactly what this song does again. I mean, this song really puts you in the shoes of the person that Aaron is singing about in these lyrics. And that's what I love. Like, I love that element of the track. The highlight of the song. Sorry, I don't know what I was going to say there, but yeah, the highlight of the song starts at, I believe, 4:15 and ends at about 5 minutes into the song, and that's easily one of the most depressing things I've heard My Dying Bride do in a while. I mean, it's really, really heavy. It's so sad. Aaron Stanthorpe's vocals, just the melody is so beautiful, and it fits so perfectly with everything that the instruments are playing, and it's just incredible. As far as the drums go, I wasn't too impressed with the drum sounds on this album. Actually, it sounded very sort of clicky. I don't really know too much about drum programming or producing drum sound, but it seemed a little bit overproduced to my ears. It didn't sound like the super sort of natural sounding drums that you heard on Turn Loose the Swans. But I still enjoyed the drumming. It was actually fairly fast and fairly technical in the beginning of the song, and a few points later when the riffs really start to kick in. Like I said, the riffs are amazing. The violin is a little overused, I would say. I mean, that's what I get. The violin and some of the sort of stuff that Aaron, you know what I mean, where he sort of bends his voice like that to add sort of this Gothic sound. That Aaron Stanthorpe does. That's what makes this song a little bit cheesy for me, but I don't even really care that much because it's just a really great track. I mean, it really, really has me looking forward to the new album. And yeah, there's some great lyrics on here from what I can make out of the lyrics. Very cryptic, as Aaron's lyrics always are, especially on Turn Loose the Swans. But yeah, even though the name is emo as fuck, and the album is called Feel the Misery, and the album cover really isn't much, this song is definitely a great one. It's definitely an awesome track from My Dying Bride, and I will be giving it many more listens in the coming days. Definitely going to be buying the album when it comes out, and who knows, it may even make it into my top 15 albums of the year. I think I'm probably going to stick with the 15 albums at the end of the year. But yeah, I will link the track down in the description if you want to go check it out. For a score, I think I'd probably give this a solid 8 out of 10. I really like this track. I mean, didn't absolutely blow me away or anything, but it was definitely emotional, definitely really beautiful, great vocal melodies, awesome riffs, and just that classic, good old-fashioned My Dying Bride darkness and despair. It's awesome. So yeah, definitely give this track a listen if you haven't. Thumbs up the video. Well, actually, I really don't give a shit if you thumbs up the video. It's like, yeah, it's cool, someone liked it, but who cares? I'd rather you comment and just let me know what you think of this review, what I can do better, and what you think of the song. So this has almost been 9 minutes for reviewing one song. You could have reviewed a fucking album in that time. But so yeah, I'm gonna go. And my father left forever.